Welcome to the live Q&A, baby. We about to get it popping, y'all. If you can hear me, if you can see me, man, type one in the chat, baby. Type one in the chat. About to get TikToky on here too. Mm, 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 mm. Greetings. TikTok, what up? Greetings. YouTube, what up? Guys, what's good? Happy Monday. Happy Monday, man. How's everybody doing today, man? Type in the chat. Type a one in the chat if you can hear me and see me. Man, we got some people coming through already. We got Vonnie Goldie. I like that name, Vonnie Goldie. What up? Kenneth Sanders in the building. What up? What's good? We got IDKJK says, sup. Greetings. Welcome to the live Q&A. Guys, if y'all can hear me and see me, if my audio and my visuals good, just type a one in the chat. Drop a one in the chat for your boy. I like a little interaction on my lives, man. If you ain't ever been to one, we got to get interactive up in here, man. We got to make sure y'all can hear me and see me. Drop a one in the chat if we good to go. If I'm good to start giving y'all some game, start helping y'all out. We got TSG Savage says that they like the live. Thank you, TSG Savage. Appreciate you, man. Stay savage, man. Never be average. Stay savage. Rafael Jimenez says, what's the best food for cutting? Calorie deficit, baby. Ain't no special foods. Anybody who's telling you anything other than that is telling you some bullshit, man. You know, if you want to make sure that the cutting process is easy, if the caloric deficit process is easy, just consume an abundance of protein and fiber and hydration. That'll ensure that you are satiated, full in your calorie deficit. But there are no special calorie deficit foods or fat loss foods. Anybody telling you that there is again telling you some bullshit. All right, guys. If you're here for the first time, type two in the chat. Right, I want to know who's in the building for the first time. Let's see who our first timers are. We got OK Ref says, Big Cory, greetings. Greetings, OK Ref. You know we say greetings up in here. Bill Higgins Jr. is here for the first time. Welcome, Bill. Glad to have you. You know what I'm saying? Apple user is here for the first time. Apple user, what up? Welcome. Welcome to the party. Glad to have you. Guys, being at your first timers, this is not just Q&A, it's also make your macros. What's make your macros, you may be thinking, right? This is where if you got a goal, fat loss, muscle growth, whichever one it is, I will give you your macros here live and teach you like kind of how to hit the numbers, man. So if you got a goal like that, just type your age, height, weight, and goal in the chat, and I will go right ahead and make your macros here on a live. Vonnie Goldie, what up? Welcome to your first live with the Armstrong Army family, man. Glad to have you on here too. As I said, if you guys need some help with your goals, you know, we're gonna do some make your macros here on the live. So type your age, height, weight, and goal in the chat, just like Apple user just did. And I'm gonna go ahead and make the macros. So Apple user, you have to tell me if you're male or female because Apple users are by gender, right? It could be anything. Taddy. Taddy says, what can I pair with rotisserie chicken? Vegetables, right? Broccoli, Brussels sprouts, spinach, you know, whatever. If your goal is to build some muscle, maybe you pair like some rice with it or some potatoes, add a little extra carb. But if you're cutting, just buffer like veggies and meats. You know, you can do your carbs with it, right? But you gotta measure it out and see how much you actually can consume for your goals. You gotta have your macros built for that. Let me go ahead and help Apple user with that because Apple user is in fact cutting. So I'm gonna show you what I mean by macros. So what we do first is we find the BMR. Guys, type in the chat. Do you know what BMR is? And if you do, what does it stand for? Right. I'm gonna see how knowledgeable my squad is today. What's BMR? Type in the chat what it stands for. Type in the chat what BMR stands for. There we go. Paul Paul A Lane. I don't know how to say your middle name. Says basic metabolic rate. That's close. It's actually basal metabolic rate, right? But I still give you 1 star for your contribution, sir. Yeah, so the basal metabolic rate, that's how many calories your body burns when you ain't doing nothing. So for Apple user, it's 1600 calories, right? So to lose some fat, all we gotta do is subtract from that. I put you in a little modest 200 calorie deficit from that. That put you at 1400. And so your calorie goal, Apple user, will be 1400. So you want to write that down first. Now we're going to build the macros in. Guys, if this is making sense so far, just drop me a thumbs up in the chat. Drop me a thumbs up in the chat if this is making sense so far. All right, so Apple user, now we got to plug your calories into a macro ratio for muscle retention and fat loss, right? I like to use the 40-30-30. That's just my go-to. You know, if you guys are interested in knowing why, just ask why, I'll tell you. But I've been doing this for 10 years and coached 1,000 people, so it shit works, right? 140 grams of protein is what you're gonna shoot for, Apple user. You're gonna do that with 100 grams of carbs and 50 grams of fat. You do that every day, Apple user. Make sure you get at least a gallon of water in per day. Man, come on, man. You're gonna lose all kinds of fat. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure that you come shout your boy out once you lose your first 10 pounds. You could lose that 10 pounds by Christmas, by the way. You just gotta start those macros tonight. So make sure you write that down. Guys, if this is helpful, right? If this has been valuable so far, just give me a thumbs up in the chat. Drop them thumbs if this has been helpful. Okay, ref. What are your thoughts on milk protein specifically in shakes? I think some people have no problem with milk protein, right? The people that are not lactose intolerant. And so I'm one of those people. I can consume milk and not have any digestive issues, flatulence, right? Skin doesn't break out. I don't experience really any negative side effects, right? But there's a segment of the population that's not the facts, right? The fact of the matter is, for those people, they get flatulence, they get upset stomach, they get issues going to the bathroom, constipation, they get, skin breaking out. And so those people shouldn't fuck with milk protein, right? But the people that can, I think you're fine in doing it because it has what we call a complete amino acid profile, which essentially just means that it has all the amino acids that you need for muscle function, muscle recovery, and just general health. So it's good. But if you get shitty boo-boo, right? If you get the protein farts when you have milk protein, stop fucking with it. Go get you some pea protein. Kanye West super fan says, Cory, how do I overcome gym fear? Always wanted to go to one, but always got cold feet. Feel like people stare. You just gotta grow the fuck up, man, and just like realize that the world doesn't revolve around you. Everybody in the gym is not coming to the gym to look at you. They come into the motherfucking gym to work on themselves. So for you to have this like perception, and I'm not saying this to like shit on you, I'm just saying this to be real with you because nobody else is being real with you, obviously. This perception that the world revolves around you is centered in an isolation, but it's sort of an isolation standpoint. So you got to get out more, basically, is what I'm saying. Because what you'll realize is most people are like actually cool, especially when it comes to going somewhere where personal development is a priority. Like I've met some of my best friends, some of the best, romantic relationships I've had too at the gym, right? Because everybody there sort of has a mindset of, I want to progress, I want to better myself, I want to add value to myself. So those become like really like better quality people, and more importantly, like you start to realize that everybody in there, is just doing their best. If anything, you'll go in there, you'll look stupid in your head, but a lot of the times a guy will come over or a gal will come over and be like, hey, did you need some help with this? Or, hey, I saw you struggling with this. Can I give you some advice? They'll help you out if they got more experience, right? So yeah, you just got to get out of this mindset that the world revolves around you. Only way you're gonna do that is if you go out and actually be around more humans, other than the ones at your job. they don't count, right? You know, I'm talking about more social environments, like going to the gym, going to events where people are learning different skills, like seminars or masterminds, things like that. Going to social events, right? That's not always involving being intoxicated to be there. Like going to like I remember back when I was single, like going to like those group singles events where like everybody's single. It's like a mixer, right? You do that. Just go be around other humans, man. You'll find out everybody isn't like terrible. Vonnie says, "I want the information, please. I will take a before and after picture." I don't know what information you talking about, but if you need more help with your goals specifically, just go grab. I got some free guides for y'all. The links are everywhere. The links are for you guys on YouTube. If you want me to do your macros, I seen somebody over there typing macro information while I was on my tangent. Just I type your age, height, weight, and goal in the chat, and I'll do your macros too. Are you on every night? Nah. If you guys would like me to go live more often, though, type one in the chat. I see what I can do. Talk with my team about it. See if we can get my calendar freed up a little bit more and put other people on. Tatey, Tatey, am I saying your name correctly, sweetheart? I don't want to disrespect you. You know that's incompetence. It ain't disrespect. How you say your name? Put the syllables in there while I'm putting together your macros. Is it Tay Tatty? Well, I uh Taty Tatty. Is it Tatty? It's Tatty. It's got to be Tatty. All right, Tatty. Look, your BMR is 1,600 calories, Tatty. Yeah, see, I got that shit right. I went to phonics, guys. When I was a kid, they had phonics, man. They don't have it for the kids nowadays. 1,600 calories, ironically, is your BMR too. You being 198, you on the cusp of being big as hell, Tatty. You got to get that shit under control. Any woman over 200 pounds is big as hell. Any man over 250 is also big as hell. So we're here to help you guys like not be big as hell and correct that. So for you, Tatty, 1,600 calories basically just means that your your BMR, it burns that on its own. If we go 200 calories underneath that, that'll put you at 1,400 calories for your fat loss goal. We do your protein at 140. I would slightly lower your carbs since you a lady, right? Since you a lady, I would go 85 grams of carbs, 55 grams of fat. So again, that's 140 protein, 85 carb, 55 fat. You do this, you at least gonna need about a gallon of water a day, Tatty. Make sure you get about 20 to 30 grams of fiber with that. Elijah says, I'm offended. You should be, right? You should take that shit personally, like Michael Jordan. Um, my hairdresser says she's glad she is 198. Yeah, your hairdresser big as hell, mama. She is big as hell. And listen, that's a life choice. She can stay big all she want, you know. She wants some higher diabetes risk and high blood pressure in her 50s and 60s. Be my guest. But if you don't want that, then you should not be, as a woman, anywhere close to 200 pounds. How do I lose weight? Says Deb. Deb, you just gotta be in a caloric deficit. That just means you gotta burn more calories than you eat, right? So food is energy, and fat is energy you just ain't used yet. So you have to stop putting so much energy in and start burning more energy out. Right? That's it, Deb. That's the whole game. If you guys want more help with that, type your age, height, weight, and goal in the chat, and I'll do your macros, man. Cool says Cool says, Coach, how you feel about Kino Body? I don't think about Kino Body at all. Yeah, like as a grown ass man, like if you ask me about what another man is doing, I'm always gonna say the same thing. I don't give a fuck what they doing, man. Right? Like that's not disrespect to Keno Body or anybody on his team. That's just like I don't think about what other men are doing with their time. I'm too busy focused on my purpose, elevating myself and my team, and helping my clients become the best version of themselves. And in the meantime, I'm here helping you guys become the best version of yourselves, right? I ain't got time to be thinking about motherfucking Keno Body, man. Thoughts on the carnivore diet? Some dumb shit, man. It's stupid. Why would you do that if you don't have to? Do you eat steak and eggs? Yes, multiple times a week. I love steak and eggs. My mom's in the chat. Greetings. My mother's in the chat. She says she's thick in all the right places. That's what she's telling herself, and that's what them dudes that's hollering at her that love having having the chance to have sex with her. That's what they tell her, so she believes that that's true. And it probably to some degree is, but a lot of that's fat too, right? So it's one thing to be like muscular, like so to have like a big butt that you built. That's one thing. It's another thing to have like 40 pounds of fat on your butt. that ain't that ain't as sexy or appealing as somebody who like built their own uh built their own butt, right? But yeah, ain't no woman 200 pounds and just thick. No, it's a lot of fat. It's just a lot of fat up in there too. And tell her I'm saying that out of love. I want her to live to see 60. Bulldog Will says follow your guideline. Went from 275 to 263, but now I feel stuck. Hey, let's clap it up for Bulldog Will. So Bulldog, type in the chat. What was it that you did? How many calories were you on to get there? How many days are you strength training a week? What's your cardio protocol, if at all? Um, you know, how many hours a day you fasting? Tell me all that stuff, and I'll tell you what to change. Uh, All in fitness. Did you used to do shows? Nah, I ain't never did a show before, bro. Never did a show before. Never had a reason to, honestly. I may do bodybuilding show at some point. Like let's say when I'm like in my 40s and 50s, right? Like the business has grown to a point where I ain't gotta be as on the front lines, right? My team is handling shit, and I just got some free time. I might do one just cause, just put it's on my bucket list, right? But yeah, I have no logistical reason why bodybuilding show would make sense for me. It wouldn't help me with my marketing. It wouldn't help me get in shape because I get in shape without it, right? And I'm not like looking to train a bunch of bodybuilders, so there's no advantage to it for me. So I might just do it for sport at one day. Bulldog says 5 day cleanse. 5 day cleanse means nothing, bro. So your problem right now, bro, is you don't know what your calories are. You need to figure out your calories and macros. Bulldog will just type your age, height, weight, and goal in the chat. I'll do your macros for you. YG says, have you used Brandon Carter's personal training program? I think I remember seeing you in the video of his. Yeah, Brandon Carter's my mentor. Yeah, that's the big homie. So yeah, he taught me how to scale my online fitness business to six figures and beyond. So yeah, that's the big homie. Pool Ray, talk about muscle weight versus fat weight. What you want to know about it? It's two different things, right? It's two different tissues on the body. Fat is fat, muscle is muscle. Muscle grows and shrinks, fat grows and shrinks. They're two separate parts of your body. What do you want to know? J4 says, hi, coach. What is the advice on kettlebell workouts? Can you build muscle? Sure, sure. I'm not a big fan of kettlebells, though. Not because I don't think that they're useful. I just personally like the feeling of grabbing some heavy dumbbells and doing presses versus having this big bell that slaps my forearm and having to do movements with it, right? Same thing with barbells. Barbells, you build a lot more strength. with barbell training than you ever will with kettlebell training. But kettlebell training is good for if your prioritization right now is becoming more functional. So if you want more mobility while you get strength, kettlebell workouts can be more conducive than that than dumbbells or barbells because of the way the weight is distributed and the way that you grab it. Pooh Ray says true. The people don't know that muscle weight is heavier. Muscle weight is not heavier. That is a bullshit myth. The truth is, muscle is more dense, right? So on your body, your the size of it is different. The distribution of it is different. But a pound of fat and a pound of muscle is the same weight, right? They're both 1 pound, right? So it's not a different weight. It's just how it looks is different. That's what people are attempting to say when they say that shit. But there's not a different weight between muscle and fat. Usually when people say that, they're explaining that maybe the weight that they hold is not reflected upon how the weight looks. That's what they're really saying. They always lied to us by sheer. Yeah, man, it's all good. They lied to me too, and I found out the truth, and I'm giving that shit back to you. Guys, if this live has been helpful so far, just type one in the chat. I want to make sure you guys are getting value here today. Uh, User V says, you got your EBT this month, bro? Nah, man, your mama didn't come over here and give me none, man. You should tell her to hurry up with that. Want to take your mama to dinner tonight, user. Bulldog says one. AR says one, for sure. For sure. I'm glad you guys are getting value, man. Also, too, we still doing Make Your Macros. So if you guys want your macros done, just type your age, height, weight, and goal in the chat. And, you know what I'm saying, I'll hook you up with your macros before I get up out of here. When is my next meeting? Hold on, let me see what's going on. Yeah, I got another 20 minutes. Bulldog, I missed it. It was a lot of people typing it. So can you type it again, please? Age, height, weight, and goal. And then I can give you your macros. So yeah, I can tell you what it is, Bulldog. You just, if you got stuck, you don't have a real game plan. You was just doing stuff and that stuff worked, but you don't know why it worked because you wasn't tracking your calories and macros. So we fixed that. We fixed everything. 29 more plans. Yeah, Bulldog. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Cool. Yeah, if you guys want me to hook y'all macros up before I go, give me your age, height, weight, and your goal in the chat. I'll make sure I hook y'all up. King Jordan, appreciate you coming through, King Jordan. Deb is 131, 5 foot, 5'2". Deb, you 131? You want to lose weight at 131? You might be the right weight unless you just unless you skinny fat. Deb, you skinny fat? Be honest. You ain't got a lot of me. You can tell me the truth. What do you think about Ozempic? I think Ozempic is, in most cases, a temporary fix for a permanent problem. You know, the reason why people lose weight on Ozempic is because it throttles down their appetite. So, you know, from a hormonal standpoint, they just don't get hungry as much. And then that puts them in a calorie deficit, which makes them lose weight. But if they just knew how to do that without the shots or the pills or whatever, they could still lose the weight. What happens to a lot of people is they go on the Ozempic, they lose the weight, and then they gain it back after they get off of it because they never learned how to just get in the calorie deficit on their own. They never changed the habits that created the fat physique that they have. All In Fitness says, I want to hit some personal goals, but I want to scale my fitness business. You have given me pounds of jewels. I'm glad I can help, man. I'm gonna tell you like this from personally scaling my own fitness business. My mentor always told me, either you sacrifice for your goals or your goals will become the sacrifice. Basically, what that means is there's gonna be something that's gonna get sacrificed. So if you really want to scale your business, something in your life is gonna have to be given up for that to be the case. I don't know what it's gonna be for you because I don't know your life enough to tell you that, but you're gonna have to either give up some recreation time, You might have to cut back on some of your gym time. You might have to cut back on some of your family time or some of your devotion to work if you put in a lot of hours of work. Something's going to be given up. And that's going to be the key to getting you where you want to be. Because the only reason you ain't where you want to be because you haven't done the work, right? And you haven't done the work because you're doing other things with your time. So you have to take that time and then reposition it towards the work. And something's going to get sacrificed. And you got to just come to terms with that, right? Like I lost a lot of friends, girlfriends, shit. I had job opportunities that I walked away from. A lot of shit, man, to really focus in on like building a six-figure online fitness business, man. And people ask me if I have regrets and things like that, and I'm like, nah, man. Like everything happened the way it was supposed to happen. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't think I would have got to where I am today without the drawbacks, the pain, the disrespect in some cases. People doubting me. All of that shit was fuel to the fire to make me a better man. Bulldog Will says 60 years old, 5'11". Okay, so here's the thing, man. Your biggest obstacle has literally been for 60 years of your life, you ain't never looked at the reason why your weight is where it's at. Bulldog Will. The reason why you at where you at is you consuming way too many calories. Right? So what I'm about to give you is gonna be a wake up call, right? Because if you 260, that's big as hell. Okay. Any man over 250 is big as hell. Okay. For you, your BMR is 2,000 calories by itself because you're so tall, which is good news. That means your body burns a ton of calories on its own. All you got to do, man, is just pull that back a bit. I would say go 200 calories less than that. If I was coaching you, man, I'll put you at 1,800 calories, right? 180 grams of protein, 110 grams of carbs, 70 grams of fat. You do that every day, right? Get you at least a gallon of water in, maybe a gallon and a half, right? Because you're a little taller. And then also, like, maybe pack on with that, I would say 30 grams of fiber, right? You do that, man, you're going to lose a ton of fat. Okay, so if you drink the gallon of water a day, then all you got to do is start eating 1,800 calories. And if you want the muscle to stay as the fat goes away, get 180 grams of protein in, 110 carbs, 70 grams of fat. Cat Williams is in the chat. What's up, Cat? Cat says, I'm 5'5". That's what's up. Shout out to the shorties. Andre is 30 years, 204, 5'11". I'm guessing you want your macros too. I can do your macros, Andre. Andre, I got you, fam. So what we're gonna do is find Andre's BMR. That's the basal metabolic rate. That's how many calories he burns at rest. Clint says, I watch you all the time. Hey, I appreciate the support. Appreciate that. So yeah, for you, your BMR is 1,900 calories, Andre, which means that if we put you in a deficit to lose some fat, that'll be 1,700 calories because I'm going to just subtract 200 from that. 170 grams of protein is your goal. Write that down every day. Do that with 100 grams of carbs, 65 grams of fat. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Yeah, so you do that with a gallon of water, maybe a gallon and a half, Andre. You're gonna lose all kind of fat. In fact, you can lose your first 10 pounds by Christmas. Clint says, love you, fam. Much love to you too, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate the support. Would you ever post content to help people bulk up? Yeah. If you guys want me to help you bulk up, type 2 in the comments. I'll see if I can work on more bulking content for y'all. And eat a lot of protein, please. Help. Okay. User says, why won't you answer my question? I didn't see your question. Andre says, thank you, bro. No problem. No problem. Uh, uh, uh. I'm not going off the emergency fat loss, no pig diet, but your effort to support the healthy weight loss is exciting or exiting. I think I was supposed to say exciting. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate you, Daniel, for coming through. Okay, LD swag. LD swag. Okay, I like it. I like it. Um, let's do your macros. Let's get it popping. Um, so 5'10", 48 years of age, 190. You want to get to 175. Let's get you there, man. So get you a pen and pad out. Your BMR is 1700. So at 1700 calories, that's what your body burns at rest. All you gotta do is just come slightly below that. That's it, just a little bit below. You know, yeah, 1500 calories, man. 1500 calories, LD swag. You do that, 150 grams of protein, 90 grams of carbs, uh, 60 grams of fat. You do that LD swag, hey man, you're gonna get all kinds of results. You say, I had your program last year, bro. Hey, come on, man. Armstrong Army alumni in the building. What up? You know what I'm saying? What kind of results did you see? You know, let me know if there's anything else I can help you with, man. I always like to help my alumni. I'll do a few more before I get out of here, guys. So if you want your macros done too, type your age, height, weight, and goal in the chat. Right? We're gonna get it popping. We're gonna get you your macros. LD Swag says super good results. I just a plateau now. Well, I'm happy to hear that you got super great results with us, man. So I think to overcome the plateau, you probably just need to adjust your macros. I just gave you some new ones. Um, you know, another thing you can do, maybe an extended fast, right? If you want to lose some more fat, sometimes just resetting your metabolic system with a fast, maybe like a 24 or 48 hour fast this week. A lot of people are doing that going into Thanksgiving, by the way. So like that's an easy hack for y'all who are on a fitness journey right now. Um, Tuesday night, just stop eating and don't eat again until Thursday. 48-hour fast. Drink a bunch of water, stay hydrated, maybe throw in some broth or something like that if you feel weird. The electrolyte balance to help with brain function, muscle function, all those things. You might wake up Thursday and already chopped off a few pounds, and then maybe you interject that in once a week, and see if you see a difference. DJ with a lot of other letters, drinking 1.5 milks before bed, making me big as hell. Yeah, you big as hell if you're doing that before bed, bro. That's crazy work. All right, here we go. Here we go. Joe Robert, my man with two first names, it says 390 pounds. You big as hell. So I gotta help you out, man. Go get your pen and pad right now. 390, 6 foot. Okay. And you are 39 years of age. All right, man. We gotta help you get to 40, because goddamn, man, 390, man, you wildin'. All right. Your BMR is 2700. Now, conventional wisdom, right, would tell you to create a TDEE based off your BMR and eat relative to that. That's bullshit. All right. I've trained a lot of guys over 300, over 400, over 500, over 600 pounds, right? What I typically tell them to do, just get aggressive with your BMR, because you have a lot of excess energy already on your body, right? Because you got all that fat. That's extra energy your body didn't use. So I would just take 200. I would take not just 200. I'd take 500 calories from your BMR. So that'll put you at 2,200 calories as your goal, right? Within that 2,200 calories, 100 grams of protein, 200 to 130 grams of carbs, 86 grams of fat. All right, you do that every day, Joe Robert. You're gonna have to at least get 1.5 to 2 gallons of water, because you are big as hell. right? Hydrate your body. Use about 30 grams of fiber. You're gonna see all kinds of progress, my brother. All right, you just got to make sure you stay consistent with those metrics. All right, guys, if it's been helpful information so far, just type a one in the chat for me. David Williams says, "Yo, Corey, much love from Colorado. Shout out to Colorado. Greetings." AR says one. Thank you. Joe Roberts says thank you. No problem. Andre says one. Thank you. Thank you. Christopher is putting emojis in there. Thank you. Louis is putting one in the chat. Okay, cool. Thank you. Glad this is helpful. Glad this is helpful. You know what I'm saying? What other questions y'all got, man? What else can I help y'all with before I go? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Louis put his stats here. I got you, Louis. All right, Louis. So 54 years of age. 205 and 5'8". All right, let's get it, young Louis. So your BMR 1750 calories. So I'll put you on 1550 if I was coaching you. That'd be a nice 200 calorie deficit from that. Write this down, Louis. 155 grams of protein, 90 grams of carbs, 60 grams of fat. You do that every day, you're gonna lose all kinds of fat, man. Coolness says, "What up, though?" From Warren. What up, though? I need your help getting my big ass belly down. All right, man. Well, listen, I happen to have made a course just about that, right? It's called the Big Belly Blaster, right? You can go hit the link in the chat, take you to a page, put your info in there. It's gonna get sent right to your email, and it's gonna get text to you. That course is all about how to do what I'm teaching here live. Basically, figuring out how much food you need, right? And then figuring out what kind of training you need to focus on to get that weight off. So go get that free guide, my guy. Kyle goes quack. Cory Armstrong. I don't mean to be offensive, but you're looking great. There's nothing offensive about that, right? There's nothing offensive about that. That is high praise. Thank you so much, right? I appreciate the kind words. Ariana, yeah, is that? Yeah, Ariana. Hey, Corey, walking is great for fat loss because I hit 12,000 steps a day and hit the gym hard. Walking is awesome. I agree with you. Walking is fantastic. I do it every day. All right, Jamie says, Jamie, what up, Jamie? What's happening? So Jamie's a lady. Jamie's a lady, right? Yeah, Jamie's a lady for sure. 49 years of age, 5'2", 172. Okay, we're gonna help you out, young Jamie. Go get your pen and pad. We're about to break it down. So your macros, young Jamie, it's gonna be based off your BMR of 1350. That's how many calories your body burns when you're not doing nothing. So when you want to lose some fat, you go less than that. I will go 200 calories less than that. Put you at 1150, right? 1150 will be where you'll be at. And that's these following macros. 115 grams of protein a day, 70 grams of fat. I'm sorry, 70 grams of protein. I'm tripping. It's about that time for me. 70 grams of carbs. All right, so I'm gonna start from the top. 115 grams of protein, 70 grams of carbs, 45 grams of fat. That's the real macros. You do that, get at least a gallon of water in a day, Jamie, you'll lose all kinds of fat. Al Henry Yard has followed me. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. JoJo somewhat fit. My friend told me protein macros are the only goals we should meet. That carbs and fats are just an amount you can allow yourself to eat, not mandatory to eat. Is this true? Not necessarily, right? So your body. So what does protein do, and what do carbs and fats do? Protein ensures that you keep muscle. It's closely tied to like muscle functions and a whole other litany of different things, health related. So you actually need a certain amount of protein every day. The same is true for dietary fats. If you don't have enough dietary fats, your cells, your brain, and even down to the hormonal level, right, and even the immune system level, those things will not function properly. So you actually need both fats and protein in certain amounts. Now the good news is most proteins have some fat in them. So you inherently, if you're eating a lot of protein that's like real food, you'll be getting some of your fats without having to target fats, right? Now, carbs you don't need. You don't need carbs at all. Your body will produce its own energy with the absence of carbohydrates. Your cells will start to use fats for energy as well as fat cells. So what your friend was expressing to you is that you can lower those amounts while you're cutting and tell your body to use fat for fuel instead. And that's true in the fat loss phase, but then you'll get to a point where you have to reverse it. You'll have to give yourself more fats or more carbs because you won't have as much body fat on you to supply that same energy. Hopefully that made sense, Jojo. Guys, if that made sense, type 1 in the chat. I was answering Joe's question, but I felt like it was pertinent to go into detail. Build that wall says BBW or single mother. Neither. Level up. You'll get women that's better quality than both. And that's nothing against BBWs or single mothers, right? But if you level up, you'll have that AB question will be C, D, E, F, G. You'll have so many options that you get to pick what type of woman you want to be with because you're such a high quality man that a lot of women would look at you and say, oh yeah, I would like to be with that guy. So just level up, man. That's the answer to that question. I'm definitely subscribing to you now. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Welcome to the family. JM Salah says, sir, is losing 3.7 pounds per week healthy with the right foods? Yeah, that's not a lot of weight. Hero David says, I already followed you. I'll support you next time you go live. I appreciate that, Hero David. Thank you. Thank you, Hero David. All right, we're going to do one more Make Your Macros, and then I got to go. I got another meeting coming up. AR, we're going to do yours. So AR is 2355 Let's get it. So 23, man. I remember that year, man. That was a wild year, man. you getting lean at the right, at the right time, man. Get lean now, right? Don't wait till you're like in your 50s and 60s and shit. All right. Your BMR is 1,800 calories, so I'll put you at 1,600 AR. And then within that 1,600, 160 grams of protein, 100 grams of carbs, 60 grams of fat. You do that every day, you're going to get like a lot of quick results. Just make sure you hydrate it with at least a gallon of water every day. If any of you want your macros done, right, I did make a free course called the Big Belly Blaster that goes into detail how you find this on your own. The link to get access to that for free is everywhere. You can go find it on TikTok in my bio. You guys got several links over there on YouTube. Go check it out. Last question, Build That Wall says, do you jump rope? Yeah, I used to jump rope a lot. I don't do it now as much because I didn't stretch well. My calves got really tight and I developed plantar fasciitis. So lately I just been walking and doing Stairmaster because there's less impact. And until I get my calf tendons back where they were before I got the plantar, right? So I get my calves right where they need to be, I won't be jump roping. All right, y'all. If you want me to go live again this week, type 1 in the chat. Type 1 in the chat. Y'all want me to go live again this week? Let me know. I might go live tomorrow night. I gotta open it on my calendar. Okay, Tatiana. What up, Tatiana? Thank you very much. Build That Wall says one. Spilly says one. Bulldog Will says 2.6 speed. Okay, I don't know what that means, but all right. What time do you go live? I'm gonna go live tomorrow for you guys, bearing no changes on my calendar. I think I'm gonna go 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me confirm that. Uh, actually, yeah, I can go. I'm gonna do 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. All right. Till next time, y'all. Peace. Mm, 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 mm.